Hi, I'm Carol Rennie, and I'm the owner-operator of the Keswick Alhambra Cinema.
My name is Shirley Lin. I'm a independent film curator who based in London and Beijing, and I'm also the co-founder and lead curator of Main Chinese Film Festival, which just hosted this year during the February.
I'd say a change maker is somebody who effects change, and they may do that consciously or unconsciously through their actions and through the impact that they have on other people around them.
So what characteristics or how do you find it's a keyword for change makers?
I'd say the key thing probably is that they do what they want to do and they're not hidebound by convention. They just do what they're passionate about, what they're interested in, and they may or may not be deliberately doing it in order to effect change. They're just having an impact on the world through taking action.
And what are the reasons and the motivations for starting this festival?
Well, I have a background in Chinese studies, so I did a PhD at Edinburgh in Chinese literature, and most of my career for 10 to 15 years, I was working for different agencies who were promoting UK-China relations. And that was something I was really passionate about and really enjoyed doing it. And I had always dreamt of having a Chinese film festival. I love Chinese film. I'm interested in all things to do with China. But I had thought it was impossible because I live where I do in a small town in the Lake District where there's no audience for such a thing. So as soon as I met Shirley, just sort of by coincidence at an ICO screening day in Kendal, and she said she was a film curator and that she knew that of an audience for a film festival. I said, I've got a venue, I'm up for it. So I was just open to doing something which would fulfill a dream of mine.
So this all happened at the right time and the right place with the right person.
Amazing set of coincidences. But I do think people who make change, people who affect things, people who organize and create things, often it seems like it's coincidence, but really I think often those people are very open and actively seeking out ways to make things happen.
I think the reasons and the motivation for this festival is very obvious. However, I have prepared for launching this film festival like for 3 years. So when I was studying my bachelor degree, I was majored in politics, philosophy, and economics. I really enjoy studying that subject, which gave me the food of thought to reflect on the issues, social changes, and all kind of ideas that happens in our international societies. So at that moment, I think I got to do something, and I like film a lot. And on the other hand, I think that as a young female, who has the identity of Chinese, I think it's very important for me to represent the voice of female filmmakers, and share the same cultural identity with me into a bigger scenario. And I enjoy delivering the voice of underrepresented filmmakers. Also, I like to use a film as a very inclusive bridge to connect the film work to its audience. And that audience can be international audience, can be domestic audience, and it can be like, it's very diversity. So I think that's my motivations.
And if you're asked to give a slogan or a definition of your film festival, what would it be?
We are a film festival focus on cross-cultural communication about Chinese cinemas and the women representation in specialized films.
So it is also combined with your personal thinkings and also the film festival, right?
Yes, I think it's like a combination of personal thinkings between me and my co-founder. She's a doctor who studied in Chinese studies in university for 4 years. And she also like Chinese films, and she studied a lot about Chinese literatures. And for me, I think our collaboration actually a representation of cross-cultural communication between China and the UK. I also want to challenge the audience by giving that definition in a very ambiguous way. We want to give an open context for the audience to reflect, to rethink, and to sparkle new thoughts on Chinese cinemas. especially the definition.
And we noticed that you have choose many types of movies like Before Busy and Double Life to show in this festival. So what's the reason?
The reason is really simple. So in our film programs, you can find out 3 UK premieres of women-made films. So that is my ambition to promote emerging Chinese films made by women, especially young women. Double Life is a debut feature of a young Chinese female filmmaker who living in Japan to produce a story about the intimate relationships that happens in Japan. And she trying to use the perspective of an outsider to, to convey and discuss about the common human relationships, the issues in Japanese society. So I think I really inspired by the ideas. And I think it is a very typical thing, trying to challenge the concept of the old Chinese cinemas, like the kung fu films, like the genre cinemas, also the kind of typical film that use Chinese women as a spectators. However, in Double Life, we actually perceive the stories about Japanese people through the eye of a Chinese female filmmaker. And I think that films really, really, discuss about the humankind issues instead of small issues within one cultures or one countries. Yeah.